is Catnip Cloud, and in this video I'm gonna show you how I made my song Everyoung. Let's start with the drums. Alone, they sound like this. So it's pretty simple rhythm. We start with just a simple kick. And then we have bongos. And this is just a collection of samples I've downloaded. So it makes a cool pattern. Afterwards we have a hi-hat. Pretty simple rhythm, but what's cool with this is that I use the LFO tool, and I can set a frequency, and with this frequency you can control any parameter in Ableton. So right now I'm actually controlling the filter frequency with the LFO tool. So you know, if I would like to go more crazy, I could change the settings. So yeah, you can get pretty creative with this. So next, it's the ride symbol. And I use Easy Drummer for the ride, and this is a super cool plugin. It's so simple. It's I use this a lot for cymbals. You get really realistic drum sounds. So yeah, it's cool to have this in electronic music. For the chords, I actually took a sample of a bell, and I put it in this granulator synthesizer. So what this does is it takes a small part of the sample and just loops it really fast. So it sounds like this. So yeah, you can choose what kind of part of the sample you want to loop, and you can end up with some really interesting sounds. The chords are super simple. They are right here. I just wrote them in MIDI, and I use this arpeggiator effect to make cool arpeggio patterns. So that's pretty much it. A little bit delay. That's changing over time with automation to make the sound change and be a bit more interesting. Underneath I have this saw wave synth, which is pretty much just playing the exact same thing. Yeah, and it's changing over time. The frequency is cutting off over time to make it not so static sounding, and yeah, this is just a layer of the chords which I put in the parts of the songs I want to sound even bigger. So yeah, it's that's pretty much it for the chords. And the bass, super simple. It's just a sample of a bass hit that I controlled with MIDI. So yeah, just put the sample in a MIDI track and write the notes. So yeah, that's it for the bass. For the leads, we can start with the vocal chops. So what I did here, I just took a one note sample from a sample pack, and I looped it with the loop function in simpler in Ableton, and I made a melody. And what I did, I made a harmony underneath with the different notes, so it sounds bigger. And afterwards, I took, as you can see here, I made automation and turned the track on and off really quick, so it get this stutter effect. The next lead is this vocal slide effect. So this, I just took a part of my own vocals and then made a loop out of it. And as you can see, I'm actually changing the length of the loop over time for the long notes, so they will evolve over time. So you can see here I automated the mute. So it's sort of a similar approach to the vocal chops. For the outro, it's a pretty simple melody. It's a serum patch. And I have this small melodies, and it's just it's basically a super easy omnisphere patch with it's only a sawtooth basically, and some delay, and I have the same over here. Pretty similar sound, just this is a triangle wave instead of a sawtooth wave. So yeah, I usually have this on the start of a new section to make it punch even more. And I have this small like transitions. I made like this sound right here. It's just a pluck sample which that goes in a loop, and I automate the length of the loop. So yeah, that's it for the leads. So now it's time for the sound effects. We're starting with a water sound in the start of the song. Yeah, real nice sound to start with. Just a sound I got from YouTube. And next sound we have is a noise. It's in the background of pretty much the whole song. And cool plugin I use on a lot of my tracks is this Kickstart plugin, and it makes a sidechain effect, but it's only on the quarter notes. So this will only work with the songs that have a 4/4 kick pattern. So you can see. So it's a pretty easy way to sidechain things to a 4/4 kick. Next sound is a shimmer sound from Omnisphere. Omnisphere is a synth I use a lot. It's a big library with a lot of cool sounds. So yeah, this is just to add some high frequencies to the song and yeah, make it a bit more spicy. Some air candy. It's always nice, you know. And then there is small sound effects like just little samples I downloaded from Splice or other parts of the internet. There's this risers I made with the white noise. Super simple. It's just it's the easiest riser you can make. Is just take a white noise sample and just automate the frequency of the EQ. So yeah, the auto pan is there also to make it a bit more interesting. So yeah, for the vocals, it's pretty simple. I have some cool effects here. First of all, the swell I made. This goes. And this is just made by me taking a part of the vocal, like a I this sound, and I just put a lot of reverb on it, and I record it, and I reverse it, so it's like a swell sound into the first note. And I also have this. I took the I sound and I just chopped it up, and yeah, made this cool transition into the vocal, so it sounds like. I stopped feeling what's the yeah. How I usually record vocals is that I take and I just record a bunch of takes, and I just put the takes I'm most satisfied with at the lead vocal right here, so you can see I've chopped a lot of. There's a lot of different takes that are just compiled together, and the tracks I'm not that happy with. But are okay. I can make side tracks. So these tracks are right here, and this is pretty much the same thing I'm singing, just panned left and right. So it makes the vocal bigger. Yeah, so it's a way to make the vocal bigger, to have the same thing recorded 3 times and panned left and right, and you have the main one in the middle. So this is my vocal chain. I use Isotope Nectar for auto-tune. So yeah, pretty simple auto-tune. I have some saturation and some de-esser, and as you can see, some heavy EQing. Yeah, you don't need this much EQing. I'm just like sitting and tweaking it way too long, and some compressors. And I use this isotope vinyl to make it sound a bit more lo-fi. Then I have reverb. This is a spring reverb from Ableton. And then what I do with the reverb on vocals, I sidechain the reverb to the dry vocal. So when the vocal hits, it will turn down the reverb, and when the vocal stops, the reverb will go up in volume. So you can see it right here. I don't care what happens when we die. We dance inside. Yeah, so it's a way to make the words clearer and more pronounced. So yeah, that's it for the vocals. Thank you for watching the video. If you're interested in seeing how I made any of my other songs, just leave the song title down below in the comments. And by the way, I actually started doing private lessons. So if you're interested in having a one-to-one lesson with me for Ableton, I can do it online, or I can do it in person if you're living in Oslo. So yeah, write me a message if you're interested. And remember to subscribe to my channel and like this video, and see you next time. Goodbye.